Greetings, hello, welcome everyone, welcome to DevChatter. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, whatever part of your day you're in. Hopefully it's a good one. Today is a Tuesday, and we are going to be figuring out why the bot's not doing its thing. Well, anyway. I have no idea why Ace Flames here can't trigger those. I'll restart the bot in case that's on my end. It's a little weird. Anyway, hello, greetings. My name is Brendan. This channel here is DevChatter. Obviously, you can see my name right here, so you probably guessed that was my name, and you probably guessed this was DevChatter because, well, it probably says it somewhere around the screen somewhere. Anyway, welcome. We are a channel that is open to people discussing things, talking about programming, whatever areas of tech you're interested in. We hope that you are as excited about that stuff as we are. We like to do a lot of live coding, and the code that we do is stored out on... Oh, I didn't start the bot. Wow, man. That's funny. I literally killed the bot a moment ago when I was talking about restarting the bot, and then I didn't actually start the bot. So now let me click that button again. So, as I said, our code is out on GitHub, and if you are interested in taking a look at that, you can find it all at github.com/devchatter, where you can take a look at any of the stuff that we work on here. You can let us know your suggestions, ideas. You can send us a pull request if you want. You can just, fork the code and use it if you like. Anyway, where it matters, there are, I think I did put licenses out on some of the ones that I think people are likely to want to use for something. Additionally, a lot of the people here in the community like to chat in addition to just the chat that we have here on Twitch. And if you are interested in more in-depth conversations and generally talking with other developers outside of our streams, our Discord is the place to do that. And again, links over there and links down below as well. Okay. So, a couple of things. We have been working on a project here. Oh, right. Why did it try to reload? It shouldn't have tried to reload. I don't have the site running. That's why this is. That's why I couldn't load it. It's not running. Anyway, the website we've been working on is our DevStreams website, and I will tell you a little bit about it. Give you the quick intro to it. Let me go ahead and get this started just so that you can see it. That's funny. I had it running and then I stopped having it running, and now we're going to start it up again. So our DevStreams site, once I get past the fact that I'm using a self-signed certificate locally, is a simple ASP.NET Core website. It's got a couple of nice things about it. The main thing that we do here on the website is we maintain a calendar of different events. You basically pick what time zone you're in. Obviously the UI needs to change here. This is just the basic inputs, just tossed on a page. So consider this the Battleship Gray version, and we will, obviously... hopefully make those a little bit nicer. Right now it's just, full screen drop downs. Obviously not a great UI, but it works. So essentially we want to have a calendar of various channels. You can find the channels here. You can take a look at their schedule. Right now the only scheduled event is a Saturday one, which means in order to actually see it, I would have to go in here and choose Saturday. And then you can see the event. Now we want to change the way this displays. Obviously having a list on the bottom of a page isn't exactly useful to a lot of people, so we're going to have a calendar view so that people can see when these events are taking place. So think a general day layout, and we'll put bars with what they are so you can see when the streams are supposed to happen at any given point during the day. So that is the idea for this page. And that's basically the site. So, what we were working on last time, and hey Brandon, also I realized I didn't say hi to everybody that was here today that said stuff at the beginning. Prototype, greetings, welcome, Coated Beard, Stool Penner, Ace Flames here, obviously, I know I at least talked to you, but hey, greetings, welcome, and welcome Brandon. So, this is what, what we're setting up. Now, yesterday we were looking at authentication. So we want authentication so that we can also do authorization. Hey, Ancient Coder. And the idea with this is that we want to establish whether or not someone is allowed to edit the information for a channel. Oh, I just killed the site. Derp. Anyway, so obviously we only want people to be able to edit a channel if they run that channel. So whoever sends us the info for that channel, we're going to let them do it for now. Eventually what we're going to want to do is make a connection out to Twitch and use that instead. So that will determine which channels you control, because you'll actually connect your Twitch account. So that is the goal, is you connect a Twitch account, we bring in the channel. You connect a YouTube account, we bring in the channel. And that's essentially how we are going to determine which ones you own. For now, obviously, we don't have that kind of, we don't have that connection set up. We didn't even have the authentication set up, so we're going to do that now. So when we were looking at this last time, we were messing with our pages and realizing that there was something going wrong with our authentication. So we suggested two options. Either we can stop using the default identity pieces and scaffold it out ourselves so that we can override what they're using, or we can just use a third-party, essentially, identity as a service provider. We may still do the third-party identity as a service provider, but I want to make sure that we have shown this here on the stream because I don't think that we have yet. So let's go ahead and add in identity. And for now, just for the heck of it, I don't have any commits, right? Nope. Good. I don't have any unchanged files, I should say. I'm just going to go ahead and pick everything, and we can take a look at what files we want to do. Select an existing layout page or specify a new one. I think it's going to use my default. It should be set in that file. My data context, so I can get away with scaffolding because I did not remove Entity Framework completely. A lot of people were asking me when we were first when we replaced Entity Framework with Dapper, and I said that, people were like, why didn't you get rid of the last bit of the data context? And the reason why is that a lot of these windows that pop up inside of Visual Studio that do this scaffolding expect you to have this. And so in order to actually get away with this, we have to still have this file here. So let's go ahead and add that, and we'll see what happens. So cross our fingers that this works, because we just told Visual Studio to create like dozens of files for us. So we'll see how it goes. All right. Support for identity was added to our project. Code for adding identity to our project was generated under the area's identity. So you actually have a set of defaults that are in there without even doing this part. Those defaults are actually included inside the DLL, and that's how you're actually getting them. This should allow us to override and actually have the files ourselves. Let's see, the generator gets send across to your app. Call this from your configure method. Okay, can do. Thank you for the suggestion. Startup. Let's go to our configure method. So inside of configure, we need to. We already had an app use static files, so we're good. Because we already had that. The ESP also needs to enable authentication. Use authentication, we already have that one as well. The generated UI requires MVC. We should have that also. So we use MVC. We needed services and the app one. So up here we should have that as well. Let's just confirm. Add MVC, right there. Okay, so they're both in there. We're good. Hey Grim, welcome. On your slow PC. I don't even know what that means. Hey, Sirlash. And a good day to you as well. Alright, so I don't think we need anything else from that, and you can go away. I don't even know what you're complaining about. Alright, so that should have given us an identity area that actually has a whole bunch of these. Yes, good. Okay, cool. I'm going to go ahead and debug my application here, and while that runs, I am going to mute my phone so it doesn't make noise, and look at who's sending me text messages. Oh, what? Really? Okay, well that's stupid. You gotta be kidding me. Hang on. Looking at thing. Alright, well, that's annoying. Okay, so let's take a look. When I go to log in, I want to use this account, and I don't even remember what that password is. Where is it? There it is. Super secure, best password ever. So it says invalid login attempt. Let's go to the login page. So that should be right here. On get, no. On post, we should, in theory, hit that spot. So let's paste in that password again. So we're here. Let's find out what happens. So model state is valid. We should have received a password and an email. All right. Result failed. Did it say why? It doesn't say why. I was hoping it would tell me why. Like in the back end. Okay, so that doesn't work. What's the deal with this method? It says it takes username, not email address. Okay. So I think that's the problem. For some reason, this form is an email, and it's requiring email validation. So let's change this. We doing username as one word or two? That's the question. They do it as two, so we will use two as well. Username. Okay. So we're changing this from email to username because I think it scaffolded the wrong thing. Because its own authentication doesn't even use that. Yeah, the email is the username, but I don't think it is in our case, Ancient Coder. I think we created an account that actually has a username. And I just want to do this to confirm that. So we're going to remove the restriction that be, and in words, that be an email address. And we'll find out. Yeah, Ancient Coder, but we didn't create our account that way, so that's why I want to find out. This is not email, that is username. And if this works, then we know that we can fix it that way. Hey, Plutonin, welcome. Greetings. At which point it might just be that we created our fake account wrong, and we should create it the other way with an email address. Let's see. So, chatter1. And the password is... I hope that's still the password on my clipboard. Yep, it's going this time. I'm gonna bet, because it let me do it. So nope, still says invalid. Okay. All right, here's what we're gonna try then. We are gonna go ahead and reverse this, switch that back to email. And we're going to go here, switch that back to email as well. And on startup, so first off, I'm going to delete the account information. And instead of, so we created user email. Did we create username? Yes, we did, right there. So let's find by email. No, because I really don't want that to be the email, but I guess it's gonna be. Okay, well, that's gonna be the username then. We'll try just setting the email and we won't set the username. Mobabo, maybe it just needs to refresh. I mean, I'm online. Register a new account and log in with it. Yeah, Ancient Coder, I'm sure I can register a new account and log in with it. I need to figure out why this one doesn't work. Why our created account didn't work. Because... obviously we need this one to work. And I'm pretty sure the other way. So if it doesn't work, this... Oh, whoops. I didn't kill the account. Hang on. I need to delete the account. We'll rerun this, and it should recreate everything. And as long as it recreates everything, if it works, then we know that this is fixed, and we can have our auto-created default account. If this doesn't work, I'll try registering one, and we'll see if it is able to use that one. It should. We're trying to figure out why our generated one doesn't work. Let's go ahead and I'm just going to nuke everything and let it rerun. Dude, you don't, like, this is the easiest thing in the world. Let's go. What? Delete these, come on. Yeah, nuke them, please. Okay. We'll do a full reset, because we are trying to find out what's going to happen for anyone that's not me when they go and set this up. Because we want to make sure that this doesn't work just on my machine. That should have rerun those. Initialize the database, did that not go? Hang on. That should have initialized this. Yeah. Should have done the migrate right there. There they are. Okay, fantastic. And the user got created? The user didn't get created. Why didn't the user get created? You created the tables but not the user? Did that fail for some reason? Let me toss a breakpoint in that one. Yeah, it doesn't have the user, and it creates, and it didn't succeed. Invalid username. Okay. I didn't set a username. So let's do that. That's why it didn't create. Hey, prototyped. Yep, that is where our GitHub is. Feel free to take a look. Okay, so it succeeded this time. Alright, so it turns out the email is valid, but I do have to explicitly tell it that that is the username. So let's take chatter1 again, and what was that password? The ever secure password. No one would ever guess. Alright. And it succeeds this time. Okay, so there we go. We just had to make sure that we set the username explicitly as that email. And as long as we did that, then it was okay. Alright, so there is the thing we needed to fix, which actually makes me want to discard pretty much every change except for one. me see if I can do this. Those should all be changes that can just be undone. Let's find out what happens. I love source control. Then we'll see how many of those we actually need to customize. We might add 1 or 2. This should not catch any of those breakpoints anymore. Okay, cool. Let's log out, and it held our login, so that was good. Log back in. Okay, good. So there we go. Perfect. We have our login fixed. So let's go ahead and commit that. Fix the default account creation. Push that up. So default account gets created. We're in good shape there. So now we have to add, we have to actually make the authentication have a purpose. So we need an authorization on here. So what we're going to do, if we take a look at the channels object right now, you'll see that all we have here is ID, name, URI, country, and time zone ID. We don't actually specify who owns this. So we have a couple of ways that we can go here. We could go with a loose coupling where a channel can have more than one person with access to it, and we essentially create like a channel authorization. So if you wanted more than one person to be able to access your channel, you could do it that way. Since we're planning on making this a connection that works through a Twitch connection, I could see going either way on this one. So we could make a separate table that essentially is the channel authorization table, where we just, match up a channel ID and the person who has it, the channel owner and the person who created the entry. Yeah, so the channel owner is going to be the person who's creating it, in this case. But once we connect it so that you actually make a connection to Twitch and then that creates it in our system, when we do that step, it'll be a little bit different. But keep in mind that, for example, on my account on DevStreams, I'm going to probably authorize 2 Twitch accounts, because I'm going to authorize DevChatter, this one. But then, hang on, let me go open this up in my other account. Oh, also, let me just click that button. Also, this one. Which is funny, because that's me. Thanks, Brendonius, for the 11-month resub. Wow, 11 months in a row. It's almost like you're me and you want to be able to use my emotes everywhere on the Twitch site. Yeah, that's right. I actually have to pay Twitch to be able to use my emotes elsewhere on Twitch, because I use 2 accounts. So that is the price I pay for 2 accounts on Twitch. Is an extra like $5 a month. Okay, so I think I want to do it as a separate piece. Yeah, Ancient Coder. I've nearly been subbed to myself for a year. There you go. It's pretty good. Oh, and if you didn't know, we have actually unlocked a second emote. So subscribers to the channel actually get access both to our hype and our derp emotes now. And then next month we'll get another one. Okay, so let's authorize with a second table for now. We're going to have a channel channel access table, I think is what I want to call it. Yeah, see, Stoolpenner's got them. Let's do that. So we're using Fluent Migrators, so we're going to go over to our migrations, and let's add in a table. So I'm just going to go look at an existing migration and look at, copy pasta. And we're going to call this one create channel access table. Channel access table. Create channel, yeah. Create. Oh, what do we call that? Hey, Gareth, welcome. That could be Ancient Coder. For example, you might allow someone to be an editor of your channel. So I might allow my moderators here on Twitch. I might also give them access to update my schedule on the DevStreams site. We'll go with channel permissions table. So I think that's what we're going to call it. Let's go ahead and move this to its own file. So we're no longer in that one. So create channel permissions. What is the date today, everyone? Today is the 26th. And what time is it? It is 2, so that's 14. 14 becomes 19, so it's 1944. Boom. I don't know why I decided to do dates. It seemed reasonable. The table we're creating is channel permissions. Let's make this a field. It's going to be a constant. I guess we'll table name it. So we're going to create table name. Table name. Sure. We'll do this. Table name. She's just gonna be silly. Doing pretty well, Gareth. How are you? Today is today. Duh. Yeah, I know, right? Thanks, Stoolpenner. Much appreciated. Alright, do we want to have an ID on the... Do we need an ID on a permission? I don't think we do. It should not need its own identity column. I think because this is a mapping between two entities with a value is my thought. I think what we're going to end up with is this. First off, wow, why is that? Tag, I guess, was... Since 64, it's not going to be the primary key. It's not going to be an identity. This is not going to be ID. It's going to be channel ID. And this one is going to be... Ooh, what's our user table look like? ID. Okay. So it looks like that's a GUID. However, I believe that the way that it sets it up by default is that GUID's a string. Yeah, it's an nvar car 256. Okay. We can do that. Just want to confirm something that I never checked before. Okay. Wait, nvar car 256? Really? Really? Okay. That's fine. So this is going to be user ID as a string, and this is not nullable. Neither of those is nullable. This doesn't get a description. This gets another type of value that I'm going to leave this as an nvar car 256 as well, but we're going to call it, so this is going to be a string mapped enum of something, I think. Hey Rexy, welcome! Greetings. My username is always... Thanks, Plutonin. Yeah, that's useful to have a 256 character long name. Permissions, level, rights, access. Type. Permission type, permission level. Examples on this, if people have opinions on that name for this, whether it be like type, level, access, or something like that, the thoughts are going to be like, I'm going to do like owner, editor, things like that. You think access level? I mean, it's not exactly a role per se. I guess it could be a role. Channel, user, role. All right, yeah, we'll go with role. Nice and short. Good suggestion. Good suggestion. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, glad people like that one. I think that should work. We need to create a dual primary key because I want this to be the primary key. This is always how you're gonna look them up is by those. Oh, because I wanna or do I want to just have an ID on this and just... do I just bite the bullet and give this an ID? What do you all think? Should I give this an identity ID, or should I dual primary key the channel ID username? I don't know what people's thought on that one is. I'm gonna guess Parisian. But I don't actually know how that's supposed to be pronounced, but all the same, welcome. Thanks for following, much appreciated. Whenever you get one of those, you're like, I'm not sure how to pronounce that name. You have a lot of consonants in a row. Channel ID is that, as in 32 then. Okay. Primary key identity. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Gareth, it's not a thing. So, all right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go over here, create a primary key. See, someone agreed with me, so I'm gonna run with it. All I need is someone to agree with me, and I'll go with it. There we go. Primary key on table. This one. The columns are channel ID and user ID. So we'll nuke that. We have role. We have a primary key on that. Now what I'm wondering is, since I have the primary key, am I going to need an index on the other values? I'm gonna do it because I cannot remember whether or not I need to. This is definitely not unique. Not clustered, ascending. We are on column channel ID because we want to be able to look up by channel what permissions exist. So that's channel ID, and then this one is user ID. Definitely not unique on either of those because we need people to have access to more than one. Mobabo. How much do I care about duplicates? There should not be any duplicates, is the short answer. Me agreeing with you is never good. Have you seen some of the... Thanks, Gareth. Yeah, no, don't worry about it. We devs, we make great decisions and poor decisions, and you can't tell what any of them are until you see what you made. It's part of the reason why people recommend you just gotta write code. Shipping as a feature is one of my favorite sayings about programming. Prototype 04. We are not using Entity Framework. We are using Fluent Migrator. So this is why we're setting it up here instead of in our DB context. So we technically still have the DB context, only because ASP.NET Core's identity out of the box likes to use it, and we don't want to have to go replace all the user stores and everything like that. So because we're leveraging some existing code, we allow that. Entity Framework does our identity access. All the rest of the data access is going through Dapper, and we use Fluent Migrator for all of our data migrations, which is what this is. Will full text search be better for a string search? If we were using a string search for something, we shouldn't actually be doing a string search here. This should we should be doing an exact match. The fact that that's a string, it's not really a, like, it's a GUID. Short answer. So I don't think it should need to do that. Okay, so let's confirm that this is right. As long as this looks good, I will go ahead and let this create. Channel int32, not null, not null, not null. They are a primary key that is those two columns. And channel ID, user ID. Primary key for the table is that. The role is a value that's not nullable, but we didn't say what it is yet. There is not going to be a mapping table because I don't want to do a mapping table. So we're going to have to create permissions over here. So for now, since we don't have that many model classes, I haven't put structure on this yet. So let's call this it's not really a user role. Okay, whoever suggested that before wins. Channel role? Maybe channel role might be the better one. So we'll get specific that is a role associated with the channel. Because now I'm going to create the channel role class, which is going to have class or enum. Oh, you guys get to see the secret of what Resharper was actually doing there. We'll go with an enum. Channel role for now. And hey, Auth0 Bobby, welcome. Greetings, hello. No, Parisian. Which, by the way, if that's how you pronounce your name, I'm thrilled if I actually got it right. If I didn't, tell me how to say that name, and I will try to say it better for you. No need to apologize. I was just trying to explain. I love your jumping in with a comment on that and a question. It's very good. Never be worried that the answer was no. It still was a good question. Let's see. We're gonna make owner be the first one at 1. I don't want 0 to be a valid value, so we're gonna do that. Editor equals 2. So those are gonna be our only valid choices right now. We'll have owner and editor. And we're gonna have it store as the string, not as the number, but I still want the numbers to be consistent because in case something ever uses the number, I don't want those numbers changing, so that's why I'm hard coding in what they are. That's one of the things that really gets me on enums is if you don't put in those numbers and you add in new items and you accidentally stored the numbers somewhere for some purpose and the numbers change, you're in a lot of trouble. Any suggestions on how to handle migrations folder on large project? Whenever I expand the folder, my hand hurts from scrolling. Malachi, oh, you're talking about like a Fluent Migrator folder or the EF Core migrations folder. Some of those types of things can still support folders. So here in Fluent Migrator, I should be able to put all these in folders because it's doing an assembly scan. So what I could do if I wanted to handle that a little bit better is I could either group up the sets of migrations based on project releases, for example. So I could have everything that's in the like 3.0 release of my project be in a folder about the 3.0 release. You could also do things based on categories. So you could group based on ones that create new tables, ones that alter existing tables, things like that. You could create folders just based on months. So when you open it up, you've got, year folder, month folder, so there's a lot of options for you. But yeah, just toss them in folders, that will help you out a lot. And the nice part is, if you take a look at how the migrate, so quick little aside about Fluent Migrator here, for anyone that doesn't know how these work. So first off, I'll show you the EF migrations. So this is how EF migrations work. And you'll see that we have this right here. So this is the ID of the migration, and that essentially is like the name of the migration that it applied. I named that, and then down here, if you take a look at this one, This is the migrations applied by Fluent Migrator. So the first one we looked at, that was EF, because we are using it just for the identity pieces. That's why that was there. And then you'll notice that I have these version numbers, and then there's a description. So the descriptions, these are the file names that I was using. These are just helpful info to help me. This is not how it determines uniqueness. It determines the uniqueness based on the version. So what that means is if I were to move this file somewhere else, that's still the version number. So I could toss this in a folder and it's totally fine. When it finds this migration again, it won't try to reapply it because it's doing it based on that value. So that's essentially how they work. So toss them in folders. Yeah, hide them away. Only keep the relevant ones around. Obviously, don't create a whole bunch of folders if you're dealing with 5. There's levels of complexity here. Like when you reach a higher level of complexity, you add in the new thing. Okay, so we have this set up. We've got that. I think this this migration is ready to run. That table seems right. We're not using it for anything yet, but we want to make sure it's there. Is the project running? It is not. Let's go ahead and run it. Here we go. Click of the buttons. Click of the buttons. Hang on 1 second, everyone. Hang on.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me.
Thanks very much for that Twitch Prime sub, and yes, I was muted. Paramedic, and no, sequel Mr. Magoo, you did not break the stream. So that's awesome. Actually, wait, I can rerun that one. Hang on. We're doing that again.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
And thanks for that Twitch Prime sub, much appreciated. Please be sure to enjoy your hype emote and your derp emote. Yeah, that's right. That's totally the reason why people sub to the channel. It's just the emotes. They just want the emotes, clearly. Yeah, hang on 1 second. I have to look at a thing. This is mildly annoying. Derp. Alright, yeah, derps happen. Alright, so this should have run. Let's take a look and see, did it add my table to the database? It should have. Channel permissions, and let's go ahead and view this. Boom, there it is, channel ID, user ID, channel role, excellent. They have been created. Awesome. So let's go ahead and try and use it, because why not? Let's go to, we don't want to be in here. Let's make it, when you create a channel, we automatically assign you. Channel. Create. .cshtml. What? Oh no, right, it's edit.cshtml. I forgot. Channels reuse the same page for edit and create. Other things don't necessarily, because I didn't rewrite them to do that. The initial scaffolding that you get from ASP.NET Core creates both an edit and a create page. They create both of them. I usually like to use the same edit and create page for things because it tends to work nicer that way. If you put a lot of effort into one, you're not like, oh, now I need to do it in the other one. Yeah, you need to write it a little bit more generically, but I think it works out better if you have the same edit and create page because it's really bad when they differ. Sometimes the workflow on something makes more sense to be separate with a create, but in this case it doesn't. Let's see, repo exists channel, so we create this, create, where's the, oh, we don't post it here, do we? Channels controller is where we post it, isn't it? Yeah, it's right here. We post it up to this. Is it a new channel? If it is, we call create on it. Okay, yeah. Gotta remember how we do that. So this creates the channel. When we do that, channel tags, so that creates all the channel tags. And then in addition to creating the channel tags, we need to do one other thing. We need to... connection, insert async channel role.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more.
Prototype, thanks very much for the Twitch Prime sub, much appreciated. Oh man, we got the sub train going right now, that's awesome. We got a couple of more people hopping into their eggs. You will hatch in about 3 months. Well, start hatching in about 3 months. That's some hype right there. And as I mentioned, everybody that's a subscriber here on the channel does have access to our emotes, and they can use them anywhere on Twitch. So anywhere you like. Edit 1 controller, edit 2 controller. Plutonin. What do you mean, edit 1? Do I have an edit 1 controller and edit 2 controller? I hope not. I might, though. Yes, those emotes that Coated Beard's tossing in there. Yeah. Prototypes got the Chatosaurus egg. Insert async channel role. We want to create a new channel role. We don't actually... Oh, no, not a channel role. Channel... permission, right? Channel permission? Isn't that what it is? Didn't I call it that? Oh, I didn't create it. Derp. We called it permission, right? Channel permissions, yes. Prop. Int. Channel ID. Prop. String. User ID. Prop. Channel role. Channel role. Okay, there we go. Channel permission. New channel permission. There we go. Much better. Channel permission. Bonk. Channel ID is ID. And that's .value. Channel role equals owner. User ID equals... how do I get the user ID? I'm going to figure that one out in a second. Let me check out chat here for a moment. Coding Karma, your Twitch Prime ended. Aww. Twitch Prime ended. I don't see the thing next to you. Does that mean that you don't have Amazon Prime anymore? Or Twitch Prime at all? If so, that's a bummer. Is there a reason you are not using .configure await false with your await calls? Findor, configure await false with your await calls. I don't know what you mean. Let me see. Let's see. To attempt to marshal the continuation back to the original context captured. Findor, I would love to. So I don't actually know what that one is. I would love to know more about it. That is. Hang on. Whoa. It's Prime Video for Norway. There's nothing but their shabby video library for us. Oh. Yeah, that's a bummer, Coding Karma. for us, I would get Amazon Prime for the shipping benefits alone. Let's see. Without it, it has to switch back to the thread you were in before finishing the call. So Findor, what I would wonder is, will that mess with my my connection here inside of my using, or will that cause me a problem because of that? I love the suggestion. That's only useful when you make a library and want to prevent deadlocks. Yeah, when you don't have to worry about the UI and bringing threads into context, you should configure await false. Huh. Prototypes like hint, hint, wink, wink. Say no more, say no more.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more.
And Oz Bobby coming in with a gifted sub to Coding Karma. There you go. So now Coding Karma doesn't even have to worry about it. You don't have to go and get that Amazon Video. You have a sub. Thank you very much, Bobby, for donating the sub. It might give you race conditions you didn't expect. Problem solved. Is it only useful when you can't use a wait and then you task wait and wait the result? You don't need to use configure await in ASP.NET Core. Interesting, Coded Beard. Is it because we're already on individual request threads? Maybe? Your connection should be fine unless there is a chance your connection is being used on two threads at the same time. Yeah, I would wonder about that. Either way, let's see if we can't... what is this? What do we have access to? Because I don't remember what it is. I need... we are inside of channel aggregate service. This needed to get its data passed into it. Where did this get called from? It's got called from the controller. This dot user identity. Oh, I can never remember which one you actually need. Hang on. Let's just ask the interwebs. ASP.NET Core API controller user ID. Because I want the user ID, I don't want the name. I can't remember which one it is. I guess I could grab the user manager, but that seems like a bad way to do it. This user, find first value, name it, okay. No. This user, get user ID. What? You're telling me I'm supposed to have that? I looked for that. No. Lies. Lies. The internet lied to me. Personally, it was mainly used in full framework for things that aren't really async. Ah, see? That makes sense, Coded Beard. That makes sense. A bit like a free-threaded marshal in the old com days. Great for but you totally wreck you if you didn't know exactly what it meant. Fuel Neighbor, that is actually a very good way of explaining that. Let's see. What were we going to do? We were looking for... I want the user ID. Someone knows how to do this. I really don't want to pass in the user manager. I guess I will if I have to, but I really don't want to do it. Prototype. That is actually a very good suggestion. So, asset core, user ID middleware. No. 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 ASP.NET Core Action Filter User ID. Why did you guys -1 that? Identity extensions. Inside identity core, get user ID. Okay. So, says it exists as long as I have that extension in here. Interesting. Yeah, so what I'm thinking about is this. I kind of feel like I want my authorize attribute maybe to set it. If I had a base controller that just kept track of that, I think we could get away with it. ASP.NET Core Identity. Maybe that will make it possible. Let's see. Create user dot. Nope. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. For now, we're going to put it on here as a user manager of identity user and say user manager. We are going to store this as a read-only field, and down here we are going to grab the user manager off of this object. Get you... user manager, get user async. User dot identity. That would be identity. Is it not user identity? HTTP context user. No, that's not the one I want. Do I have that? That should get me a user, and then I just want to say .id. Alright. That's not where I want that to live. That's not a model. That is a string user ID. You're telling me that this thing doesn't have that. String user ID. Let's go back to the channel controller for a second, because I want to extract this as a variable so that I can use user ID like that. Oh, whoops, wrap that. Okay, sorry about that. Isn't it just user? It wasn't accepting it just as user. I will take a look. I did that just now, got user ID in there and role. Katrina, yeah. So I do wanna store it in some way. What I was planning on doing was Isn't there a find by user ID method? Yeah, but I'm trying to get the user ID, Plutonin. That's the value I'm trying to get. I'm glad I could make the stream today. Go to Karma. Yeah, no, glad you made it. Work makes you miss stuff you want to do, but work also lets you pay bills, so people generally like it. Somewhat. Oh my god, yes, it did work with just user. Okay, cool. Alright. I thought I had tried putting user, but we must have had a different red underline squiggly there. So this, pull into authorize. I want to pull this into an authorize attribute, which we'll do there. I want something else to deal with this. I want to hide that away. I don't want to be the one messing with that. At least I don't want it to be here, because I don't want to do that every time we need it. So, create, we go here, create, whoops, that's the old one. Get rid of the old one. I wanted to put that in the correct line because I want when Git sees this, I want it to see that all I did was change that value. Because I don't want the reorder to confuse it. I want Git to understand what I did. Okay, so that should work. Cross fingers. Table permissions. Let's view data. And we'll refresh this after we run it once. I'm actually just going to start the website over here again, because I had it running over here. Let's go ahead and start this up. We're going to go and create a channel and take a look and see what happened. We should be logged in with that default account that we created. Yep. Go ahead and proceed. I'm not worried. All right, we are definitely logged in. And create a new channel. Test one. We are in the United States, and our time zone is Eastern Time, New York. And we're gonna do a Python channel here. So save this and see what happens. Something happened. Did we get an error? I don't see an error. Oh, yep, there's the error. Cannot read key of undefined. Server responded with a 500. Alright, well, first off, let's take a look and see, did it create this? If not, it did not. Okay, let's debug this and find out what happened. Doop. We are logged in. Let's go to my channels. Test one got partially created. Cool. Seems like it was the permissions that failed. Let's go with test one. What countries start with A? Anything interesting? Antarctica? Does it have a time? Oh wow, there's a lot of time zones in Antarctica. We'll be in the New Zealand time of Antarctica, I guess. Doing our JavaScript stream. Derp. Let's toss that there. Test 2. User ID is a valid user ID. That's a password. What is going on? We create. Oh, I didn't set. Oh, son of a. Get your friggin'. Is someone saying this in chat? Someone's saying this in chat, aren't they? Someone said it in chat. Hang on. While it is still needed in library code, is not needed in ASP.NET specifically because it's designed to use a thread pool context instead of a synchronization context. Hey, awesome! So very cool. That is awesome information there. Thank you both, Findor, for suggesting it and bringing up the conversation, and Coated Beard for having the awesome insight into how that was set up in ASP.NET Core. Very cool. The longitudes, maybe Mobabo. I don't know. I had to do some research. If ASP.NET Core uses thread pool, how does it guarantee no race conditions? Jeez, man. That is something we'd have to dig into at some point if we actually want to figure that one out. For now, I'm gonna run this in debug mode again. That way, if we do get an error, we catch it. But I'm betting it's gonna work this time, because you know, we fixed a thing. So first off, let's delete a couple of these, because we don't need these. They didn't get created correctly anyway. Now let's create this one, and this is going to be test one, and our country. What starts with a B? Oh, these are fun. Let's go. Let's be in Belgium. Congratulations, anyone who's in Belgium. You just got a stream over there. All right. Let's have a look. So we're stepping along, and we create one of these objects. And owner 6. Yep. Okay, looks good. See, no errors, please. It didn't redirect us. That's not good. All right, so there might still be something broken there. We'll fix whatever that is. Ooh, it didn't create it. Yeah. Okay, well, there's why it didn't redirect us. Test one. We're in Haiti. There you go. Doing C sharp in C sharp in Haiti. And let's actually step the whole way this time, Brendan. Insert async. Is that where it bombs? Yep. Bombs out right there. What happened? Insert only supports an entity with a key or ID property. Oh, I don't have a key. If it's a multi-key, I bet I have to specify that. I wonder if I can do this. I don't know if it's gonna let me. What happens if I select multiple keys? Is it gonna do that? Keys are overrated. Yeah, we don't need keys here. Why would we need keys? Keys don't do anything. There you go. We're in Central Europe. And and there it is, bombing again. Hang on a second, everyone. Hey, I'm back, everyone. Sorry about that. That was when you look at your phone and it's related to getting the tree so fun news on Sunday. There was a big windstorm and a tree fell on my garage, and that was a call about that, so I decided to take it. Sorry about that. I will catch up on chat real fast here. David Fowler did something. Oh, he brought it up in one of his talks. That's how you knew about that one. Usually is a way to yeah. Okay, cool. So what the heck happened in here? Did it not like my double key thing? Might not have liked my double key thing. I tried to fake it out. Invalid object name, channel permission. Oh, derp. Yeah, it was gonna let me this time, but I forgot to do this. I really should just set up a Dapper rule to just make that my default naming convention, because I basically can do that. So, don't know. Delete, 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 create. And we go in here, insert. All right, now what are you complaining about? Cannot insert null into the column channel ID. That came back null? I should have looked at that. Hang on. Really? No. That was definitely not null. That most definitely is a value, not a null. Maybe it doesn't insert it because it thinks it's an ID. Oh, it probably thinks it's like a primary key or something. Simple crud. I'm betting that's you. Findor, that is the productivity power tools in Visual Studio. And it is, it's when you install that extension, it actually installs a handful of other extensions. That one's called the custom document well, and it just color codes them based on project for me. So, all right, here's the deal. So we're gonna go out here. I think that it's thinking of these as a primary key that is an identity column, and that's why it is doing that. Which means that I can't get away with doing this quick little insert like I'm doing here. I don't think we can do that. So, so we're gonna do an execute async, and we'll put in the SQL, and that will be our object parameters right there. And we'll say insert into channel permissions. I'm going to extract this as a string. SQL. Insert into channel permissions, and it's going to be channel ID, user ID, channel role, values, and let's just take this and put @ in front of them. And boom. So this will be the insert permissions SQL. Okay. I don't really like that, but I like it. By that I mean it's gonna function for now, and then we'll clean it up. So step 1, make it work. Step 2, make it right. There we go. Create. Sure. Great. It'll be JavaScript. Did that bomb? Hang on. Oh, actually, here it is. Wait, I didn't insert. I got rid of that code. Yeah. Oh, that's bombing. Okay, whoops. Did this work, though? Yes. Okay, cool. So this has added multiple channels to that table. That is fantastic. Ooh, I didn't cascade delete it. Dang it. I forgot that. Okay. We're going to fix that. We needed to cascade delete. We forgot that when we created the migration. Let's put that in there and... do I still put it on this one because it's not committed, or do I do this as two separate things? Hang on, I see stuff going on in chat. Sorry about that, everyone. I always write my own SQL with Dapper, so I don't have the problem. I guess I'm just a control freak. Yeah, Fender. I can definitely see why you might want to do that. I used to always write all my own SQL for it also, and then I got kind of annoyed with doing the basic insert that I was doing there. And so I went with simple CRUD for this one. Is there a way to see if you were missing a view model field in your view? If you're missing a view model field in your view, like in a view, right click and see. Hey, you're missing a field. Would you like to add it? Yes, I would. Oh, yes, Stoolpenner, you're correct. I don't like it, but I like it. It's definitely a the king is dead, long live the king kind of situation. Yeah, so Katrina, the short answer is there are some tools that might be able to help with that. You might be able to write a script with it. AutoMapper might be able to tell you if you're using AutoMapper. Foreign key cascade. Oh, maybe I already did it. Because I didn't foreign key them. Oh, dang it. Yeah, okay. That's the problem. I needed to foreign key these. I derped. Foreign key. We're going to do cascade rules on these. So that is table name instead of channel tags. Someone derp for me. Thank you. Much appreciated. I needed a derp there. Now we need the dollar signs in front of those so they actually become variables. Table name, and column is, so for channels, it's going to be channel ID, and this is going to be it's not going to be tags.id. This is actually going to have to reference ASP.NET users. So this table, and please tell me that ASP.NET users has that actually as an ID and didn't do like something weird. Okay, good. It is. All right, fantastic. And 450? What? Was that 450 before? Oh, son of a... You gotta be kidding. 450? I thought we looked that up and it was 256. Is it changing on me? I just realized that I need a table flip button on my Stream Deck. Because I need to be able to table flip sometimes. You just a table flip required there. Kanashimi, hey, greetings, welcome, you made it. Stoolpenner, you're welcome. Oh, for the derp, yeah. Much appreciated. You were the one that got me the derp. Thank you. Flips the database. Thank you, Mobabo. Much appreciated. Yeah, we absolutely need someone to flip that database table for us. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and add this in here. I will... Do I just want to reset? Yeah, we're just going to reset. There you go. Full-on reset we're going to do here. So let's just delete all of these. Goodbye. Bye, tables. It was nice knowing you. Are they not deleting? Oh, is this site's not running? Site's not running, is it? Let's kill the site. I think the site was running. That's probably why it couldn't delete those tables. You just delete them. Thank you. There we go. Haha. Ha. Yeah. Goodbye. That is my short answer to flip that ASP.NET user table, that ASP.NET user table. Exactly. And I do recommend pretty much everybody out there, despite the fact that Microsoft will probably yell at us about it, ASP.NET. The reason why I like ASP.NET is because that's not a link. Because the internet is dumb and thinks, well, actually, it's Microsoft's fault for naming it ASP.NET, because that's literally a domain, like, that is a name, so, like, of course it's a link. Alright. Yep, sorry, it's Microsoft's fault. They doomed us with that one. Yeah, ASP.NET. Exactly. Thank you, Coding Karma. Exactly. Alright, how'd that go? Yep, I wondered if that was going to be a problem. Ugh. Okay. You win. You win. How big did it say it was? 450? Is it me or is that, like, changing? Good thing we didn't repeat that mistake with .io. Yeah, Fuel Snable, exactly. Yeah, I agree. That has been frustrating for Google. Yes, exactly, Findor. And the problem is, we type it in here. We're like ASP.NET, and we're like, wait, what? No, I didn't know. That's not a link. And then Twitter. Oh man, if you tweet some, like, I laugh my butt off when there's like a tweet about ASP.NET stuff, and you end up with like the Twitter like t.co or whatever it is, and you're like, ah, like, Microsoft, come on, you of all people have got to know that your technology name gets turned into a link. Like, how? Gets me every time. It's actually it actually makes me wonder in our stream right now. What do I have the name as? Well, actually, while I'm thinking about it, everybody, first off, I'm going to click a couple of links because I do think people should check out our Discord and our GitHub. Yeah, Twitter in 2019. I do in fact use Twitter in 2019. Crazy, isn't it? Wait, what? No, I did put ASP.NET in the title of this stream. So I thought I might not have, because I do potentially try to avoid it sometimes. Hey, Rambling Geek, hey, greetings, welcome. Alright, so it seemed to run, which means that should have actually connected. You go away. This is running in here. Yep, I know, the connection's private, great. Alright. Test one, test one. Welcome to Australia. Wow. That's a lot of time zones. JavaScript. Clicky. All right, what happened? Because we know we're gonna get an error. It's just which one. Are your insert only supports a keyer ID property? Okay, so we knew we were gonna hit that one. Well, I knew we were gonna hit that one because that's actually not talking about what you think it's talking about. But we didn't hit any of the other errors, which is good. So that is talking about this one. And that is totally legit. Execute async. And this will be extracted as a string that is going to be a const string called insert. Actually, we're just going to call it insert. What is this? Insert channel tag SQL. Okay. Someone will kill me for that style of formatting, but we're going to do insert into channel tags values, and it is going to be whoops, not this. It's going to be, where's my channel tag object? Channel tag. So it's going to be channel ID and tag ID, and those are the only values. Okay. Channel ID, tag ID, values at channel ID, and then at tag ID, and that should work. Alright, what is going on over here? I use Twitter to follow all the Microsoft employees and friends. It's educational. That is a very good way to use it, Findor. Seems to run, fail. Oh, Alikai, you must have linked something. First off, have I seen the new commit strip about Python script? No, but I do need to. If they've got something interesting, I should check out. Dino Invasion! Yes, Python script. Oh, it was a link to that, yeah. Navistyles, join table. Join table on which a join table on which thing? This is a join table. Sorry, you meant that as a noun. I was thinking you were talking about should I join a table, and I'm like, no. I'm inserting, not selecting. Why would I join on that? And then I understood what you were talking about. Let's go ahead and run that again. Let's see if this works. Alright, it is listening, and we're going to jump over here. I'm going to refresh this page. And test, I don't know, 3? Sure. That's where we are. We're in American Samoa. There are no channels? What? Why, what? Wait, oh, did that take us to all channels? Ooh. Did I redirect to the wrong place? I might have redirected to the wrong place. Hang on. I think we're redirecting to the wrong place when we finish that. Channels controller is new. Wait. Hang on. Brain. Edit.cshtml in the channels page. Does it say what's on here? Hang on. Okay, so it is coming from edit channel.js, and then mounted data. Watching that, methods, save channel, here we go. My channels, right? My channels, yes. Okay, that was derpy. Either way, it brought me back here. This is saved, and taking a look at that, so that in theory should have saved. Which does mean that we probably need to mess with our, wait, what? Join to Hangman. Hangman? There you go. You can never give me Hangman. Good luck. Good luck. Don't get our hangman killed. Please keep him alive. Oh, there was an A. I don't know what that word is, but it looks evil. Never mind. I know what the word is. Oh, this is the one that messes up, isn't it? I don't even know what's going on with that. I don't even know what this is. It's gotta be, oh, okay. I don't know what this is. What even is this word? Oh, man. Oh, I know what it is. Oh my god. I know what it is. Oh, you gotta put the HM first. Sniped! Sniped! Got it! Got it! Sniped! Woo! Yeah, Crimson Green put GM instead of HM and I managed to snipe it. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Regular expression. That is what... you just see that and you're like, what even is this word? Like... good old Hangman. Everybody's favorite game. It's not everybody's favorite game, but hey, it wasn't bad. Alright, need redemption. Yes. Plutonin, that's right, I clearly cheated. The game was rigged. I swear it's not rigged. I don't know what that word is, actually. Now keep in mind that most of the words in our Hangman game are either programming terms or foods. So just as some help for anyone that's in the chat there. So think programming, by programming terms I mean they could be like, they're not always words per se. So some of them are super evil. Man, I don't even know. I don't know what that word is. Who knows? Okay. Let's go ahead and get some of this stuff in here. So this is going to probably be separate commits. Just because I don't want to put them in all together. So let's not put that in. This is the change to actually using it in the controller, which we're not going to do just yet. So first things first, fix the fix the edit channel redirect. So we want to add in the new pieces. So that's creating the new table. Add channel permissions table, which we're going to add in. And yes, I'm combining authentication and authorization into one branch. Pass user ID and create channel permissions on channel create. So that's the default one. So that's we create the default one. You are the owner when you create a channel. Team City. Oh man. See, I told you. I was gonna mention that some of them can be like a company name or something like that. I should have realized that was gonna be. That's not a word. It's a CI and CD server. Yeah, that's fair. And yes, it's made by JetBrains, exactly. I told you some of them were evil. I didn't say any of them. I wasn't like, yeah, these words are all friendly. I didn't say that. I mean, I guess I just said it now. Yeah, that's interesting how that works. It's really hard to say I didn't say something because you have to say it to say what you didn't say. So, well, that's yeah, it's a bit of a problem. Someone can now go clip that and be like, you know, look, you said it. All right, so we got that set up. What is this complaining about? Okay, good. I was gonna say that shouldn't be complaining about anything. All right, so we can log in. Now what I want to do is make the My Channels page only show channels that are mine. Channels. What's this? Index on the channels, right? Index web pages channels. Index my channels. Here it is. So on this page, that is not on get async. That is just on get. That was a lie. All right. So we need to set up some kind of thing where the user ID ends up as a claim. ASP.NET Core add user ID as a claim. Hype. Oh, did someone get it? I didn't see what it was. Was it, what was it? Recursion. Nice. There you go. Recursion. Awesome. Well done. Well done. And I will warn you, there's normally a cooldown on Hangman, but moderators can override the cooldown and just trigger it anyway. So, like Crimson Green, for example, can just trigger one whenever he wants. I can trigger one whenever I want. You should be able to get it via the HTTP context. Yep. So, what are they doing? I want to store a user ID and a cookie. Let's see. Okay. Add any framework store. Add default token providers. Well, I wonder. Do they just put it in by default? Let's just find out. Because, whoops. Is this still running over here? God, kill it. Did I get it? Did I get it in time? Did I get it in time? Am I gonna debug? Yes! I got it! Haha! Ghost. Which is more true in your personal experience? Nothing lasts forever. 9 to 5. I have no idea what you're talking about. I will go out on that one. If you want to try saying it again, hopefully I'll be able to figure out what you mean. User ID. Oh my god, it's right there. Fantastic. Okay, cool. So here's what we're going to do. I want that available on my channels. We're going to do this. That is way nicer than the channel controller, the trick that I was doing before. We're going to do that. We're not getting the user manager. We don't need that because it was on the claims already. Someone was right. Awesome. Thank you. Whoever that was that mentioned that like a half hour ago. Bonk. There we go. That is slightly nicer than pulling it out of the user manager. So hooray, 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 hurrah, wahoo. So I'm not gonna mess with that just yet. But this, change how we access user ID. Okay. I'm going to click a couple of things. Oh, hey, greetings. Welcome, Nayrooks. Hi, welcome to the channel. We are not creating a game today, though we have worked on some basic game development here on the stream. We are likely to do some Unity sometime this year. That was actually my plan at the start of the year, but I started working on this project instead that we want to get in place. This is an ASP.NET Core website specifically for the developer streaming community. We want to build a website for people to have and share information about their developer streams. So a place where you could find other streams to watch, even if they're not currently live. The challenge right now with finding these channels on Twitch is you can really only find them when they're live. That's like one of the biggest challenges. But we want to make it so that there is a nice place where you can just look up and find them and search for them based on things like what language they use, what technology they use, what types of project they work on. So if you did, for example, want to find a game development stream where they used Unity, for example, those are some of the tags that you would search on to find one. And welcome, thanks for the follow, by the way. Much appreciated. A couple of things I want to mention, everyone. First off, we also have a Discord that is available for anyone that wants to chat with us outside the stream. There's a link over there in the chat as well as down below. Feel free to join and chat with us. We have a lot of good channels in there for all kinds of interesting things, whether it be topics that you want to discuss, for example, various technologies. We've got channels about trying to improve your streams if you yourself are a streamer. And then we also have things like our ever-popular rants channel where people complain about terrible things that end up happening. DevIQ. DevIQ is a website where we have some like developer training videos. So you can actually find those there. The other little thing that I've got running over there mentions Pluralsight, which is another website that has developer training resources. And I have courses on both of those. So feel free to check them out. Additionally, all the stuff we do here on the stream is open source. It's all out on GitHub. So no matter who it is, if you are interested in checking out any of the code on any of the projects we work on, you can find it all on GitHub. You can take a look at our issues lists. You can make suggestions through there. You can report bugs that you find. Feel free to fork the repository. You can send us pull requests if you want. And it's all out there for anyone to view and take a look at, contribute to, whatever you want. So anyway, let's jump back into the code here for a second. So we pulled that value. We were looking at the index.cs.html on this. We did it on get here. We want the user ID. Do I still have that on my clipboard? I do. So we want to get all for user ID, which is a slight variance to what we were doing. So let's create an overload. Because I think there's a scenario to get them all still. But sometimes we might just want a subset. So let's go over here. This is missing the new version that we just specified. Get all needs to change, so we're going to do this. And it could be that what ends up happening is that this one with the user ID is the one that lives, and we could switch this from being an overload to being an optional parameter. But we'll see what we end up with. So select star from channels, where ID, select star from channels, C, inner join, C dot, inner join, what are we pulling in? Channel permissions, that's the name of the table. CP on CP dot channel ID equals C.ID, and then we're going to say where CP dot user ID equals at user ID. Alright, where did we use the channel SQL? Right here. And we need to pass in the user ID. Oh, we can't pass in the user ID like that. I almost derped. We need to pass it in like this, because it needs to actually be a property of an object. So that's why we're passing it in like that, because then this is the name of that property right there. And actually, I'm going to lowercase that just because I like them to match. Okay, so that connection query to list. All right. Then this one, when it's running, it's doing that based on the IDs that we told it about. Okay, good. That's fine. That's the way we wanted it to work. And let me make sure site's not running, so we'll go ahead and run it again. All right. Nayrooks, you're a beginner programmer. Well, welcome. We do some beginner programmer streams here. I haven't done one in a little while, but we do try to do them here on the stream every once in a while. So stuff about learning programming. So if you are a beginner, feel free to ask questions. We don't mind if you ask beginner questions, anything like that. Totally important. That you actually learn, and don't. I will tell you, you will not get ridiculed or anything like that, regardless of how silly you might think your question is. We love beginner programmers here. We want to help you get better. So, and exactly as Coding Karma says, everybody was a beginner at some point. Yes. When people win lots of Hangman, seems not the case in Rock Paper Scissors. Yeah, Jadisky, Rock Paper Scissors is definitely harder because it's random. If you have an interest, you will get there eventually, as long as yes, that is awesome. And Kajimi, yes, awesome. We love all our beginners here. They are awesome. So read a bit on ASP.NET course organization context. Oh, you read a little bit more, or rather the lack there, which means race conditions can indeed happen. In normal cases, you are likely not hurt by it when doing a when all it can happen. Yes, Fuel Snable. We ran into one in the stream recently and had to fix it. It was kind of annoying. Plutonin, I'm glad you put the kappa on there, but I will tell you, the programming languages, technologies, frameworks, whatever you want to call them, there are all kinds of choices. There are not really bad choices. There are choices where you would have been better off choosing something else for your scenario, but that's about it. So don't let people scare you away from using a language or a technology or something like that. Awesome. There we go. So not only did it load the data, it did not include the DevChatter stream. So if I go to all wait, why is all channels not showing there? Ah! Well, we're gonna have to fix that. But if I do this and click on that date, do I not? Oh, I nuked the data. Right? Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fine. Let's alter the data and see what happens. So if we go down here and we say channel permissions, view data, and we're going to switch this one from 3 to 1, so I'm suddenly going to have owner permission over a different channel. There we go, and it switches. Okay, perfect. So it is deciding that list based on those values like we thought, and that means that I can do this. So we're gonna say only display show only owned channels on my channels page. There we go. So that's the basic thing. That's not really a permissions check just yet, because anyone can type in anyone they want and get to the details of it. So we're actually going to need to put the actual authorization pieces in there and not just that check that I did. Yeah, OM Ganesh, I'm guessing. You've been here before. But yeah, we of course support new streamers here, new programmers here. In fact, on our Discord, we actually have a channel that is specifically dedicated to learning programming. So like beginner programmers asking questions, we have a channel just for that. But there are also channels dedicated to specific languages. So you started with Swift programming, but you do weekly courses for popular languages like Python, C#, C, C++, Python, and Java. Yeah, Nayrooks, if you were looking into iOS development, you would run into Swift. but you won't find it anywhere else. It's one of the reasons why we recommend to the beginners that even if you do want to choose a language that is very focused in something, make sure that you learn a generic language that can cover almost anything. So if you do want to learn Swift, learn the second language. We try to caution beginners away from learning tons of languages, because then you're just going to like go in all directions and thrash. You don't want to do that too much earlier in your career, but make sure that you've got a language under your belt that has a lot of breadth. You're going to want to be able to do a lot of projects with it. Vindor, you had struggles learning programming. Yeah, I also had trouble learning programming because the internet did not exist as it does today. So basically, any of us that have been programming for more than 20 years, we learned to program in a bad time, and we don't want anyone else to go through what we did. So we are always willing to answer questions. Just use a language that you like to code with. Plutonin, good suggestion. If you know how to formulate your questions, you can Google and Stack Overflow. Yes, you totally can. On the other hand, I think the beginning is great because every time you try something, you learn something new. Oh, you kidding, Fuel Snable? Even as non-beginners, every time we try something, we learn something new. Ganesh, if you're in our Discord, link over there in the chat as well as down below. We have channels over in our Discord. One of them is for learning programming, and then it's under the miscellaneous category. But if we have a channel that is specific to whatever programming language you use, you could also just ask questions over there. We don't have all of them. Yeah, see, Findor. Yep, those of us that learned to program in the '90s had a very different experience. Hard time to start programming, really hard time. Anything. Oh, yeah, no, you will run into problems all the time. Whether you're a beginner programmer or not, to be a software developer long term, you are going to have to get used to frustration. You're going to hit problems that are just insidious and annoying, and you're going to run into all kinds of things that you're like, this really should have worked. And then sometimes it's something stupid you did, and sometimes it's just something stupid that is in the programming language or the computer or something. It happens. We all run into that. Alright, so that's how the channels are locked down. We need a custom authorize attribute that locks down based on that ID. That's what I want to do. Alright, so I want to do a channel authorize attribute. And I'm going to put it here if I can. Channel authorize. And I think I'm going to call it I think I'm going to say ID there. I think that's what I want to do. Alright. AspNet Core Custom Authorize Attribute. Let me see when this runs. I can't remember when the authorize attribute runs and whether or not I can get away with this or whether I have to do a... Let's use a new policy design, which is fully documented here. The basic ideas you attribute to designate a policy. Policies are interesting. Interesting. Yeah, we might be able to get away with using this. Let's find out. Yeah, hang on. In configure services, let's try this before we go down that route. Now we could do what I was about to do, but we could also look at going this way. Yeah, we're not doing an at least 21. We're gonna try owns channel. or can edit channel. Yeah, no, that's really stupid, guys. What? That example's terrible. Couldn't you have used a real one, like a real world example? We all write these, but it's one of those things that bugs me is when you do like the contrived example that doesn't make any sense for the scenario. I guess you could, but I don't know what website sells things that require age 21 to buy. Let's say minimum age. We don't want minimum age. What are we gonna call this? Yeah, not a minimum age requirement. This is channel permissions requirement. We'll try that. When I bought online courses like Udemy and Treehouse, I learned so fast and easy to understand. After that, I quit learning from YouTube. Well, there you go, Nayrooks. Yes, there are some really good courses out there. Programming means constantly learning. Even after you're a good programmer, there's still more to learn. Yes, exactly. Always all the thing. Plutonin, you first off, I'm amazed that it lets you send that link through. The biggest mistake you can do as a coder is think your code is perfect and that you can't improve anymore. Yes, Coding Karma's right. Nayrooks, I know C# reasonably well. I don't. So the one area that I'm not an expert in is the async and await stuff. But I do know C# very, very well. There's a lot I don't know about it. That's part of the reason why I talk with smart people that know more about C# than I do. Oh, that's funny. It was an airport example, huh? Claims is banned from that. Is banned. Okay. Yeah, that's reasonable. And requirements. Oh, is that and that? That's it. Oh, okay. High authorization handler. Minimum age is okay. Let's create this type. I want to see what it ends up with. This is an I authorization requirement. Alright, so what is the difference between an I authorization requirement and an I authorization handler, I wonder? Yes, Nayrooks, I have a lot of experience with C#. It'd be very dangerous if you thought you knew async and await perfectly. Exactly, Mia, exactly. Yeah, I do lend people my experience and they give me money, Nayrooks. My regular gigs that I take are, I do a lot of mentoring. So I will work with teams of software developers. SB Acre, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but welcome, thanks for that follow, much appreciated. So my day job is basically, I mentor and train teams of developers to help improve what they do, and that's generally what I do. So mentoring, which basically I pair program with, chat with, and help improve other people's coding. ASP.NET Core in Action is a nice book to learn ASP.NET Core. Oh, I bet it is, Plutonin. It's The in-action books are usually pretty good. Let's see. What should a handler return? Context the scene, authorization requirement. Testing MVC request. Okay. Well, let's find out if these can do it or not. Where is an authorization requirement? Authorization requirement. So they would pass in the value, and then these requirements get used elsewhere, don't they? So that's a handler that has that requirement on it. Okay. I don't think I want this. I think I want a handler, and I'm not sure I actually want this policy this way. I think what I want to do is make a permissions handler that has that. So let's make a channel permissions handler. And it needs access to ASP.NET authorization. So let me do a quick check of this project. Brain, why aren't you finding that? There we go. This does not have ASP.NET stuff in it, which means I'm going to put this in the web project. So let's go ahead and make a class. We're going to call this... What is this? Authorization handlers? Yeah, we're going to make a folder for authorization handlers for now, which may end up going somewhere else eventually. This is going to be channel permissions handler. authorization handler, which we're going to implement. That is passed in an authorization context. Wait, hang on. Chat's blowing up with stuff. The airport example is from the book. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Any good book, article, series, open source web applications for clean architecture using EF? Oh, yes, absolutely. You should check out our DevChatter bot and how we use EF over there, because we actually do some really cool stuff with that. So, literally ours is a good one for that. The other one that I would recommend taking a look at, if you are so inclined, Ardalis Clean Architecture. This one should be a good one. Let's take a look at what he's got in his infrastructure project data. Did he set this up the way that I think he did? Yeah. He doesn't have everything that we do, but it is a basic one. He has the where pulled out. Does he have the policies in here? So core, bases, services, to do item services. Hang on one second. Let me find it. I just want to confirm that he has the thing I think he does. Really, Steve? I can't find it. But either way, this is a very simple version. This will get you set up with the basics of a clean architecture approach to that. I will link that in the chat. The Michael Jolly. Hey, welcome. Greetings. Sorry, but what was the extension you said that you were adding the tab colors? It's called the Productivity Power Tools. So the Visual Studio Productivity Power Tools is what it is. I think it's the 2017 one because it's going in Visual Studio 2017. Obviously, there's going to be a 2019 one, I'm sure. Is there a really good book on async and await that really goes in depth, like the ones that came out for COM? Fuel Stable. I don't know this for certain, but I would guess C# in depth version 4 will probably cover that pretty thoroughly. I mean, it's a John Skeet book, so it should be pretty good. Anybody else? Yeah, no problem. Glad to be of assistance. And the Michael Jolly, were you involved in some of the discussions about like streaming advice, things like that to people? You might have been. I don't remember. Might have been a discussion on Twitter that was taking place that we were both involved in. I think I remember something like that. Okay, so let's do this for now. I'm just gonna put that in there. Code omitted for brevity. Okay, so those are basic permissions. That must be permission requirements, right? Yeah, so these are going to be for a pending read permission requirement, the user must, and then owner or sponsor to access that in the case of an edit permission, a delete permission. Okay, so those must be the requirements that we were talking about. So here's what we're gonna do. Gonna make a folder of requirements for now. Gonna make a class called read permission. Yep, that'll be the one, and it's gonna complain because it's not the right type, because it needs to be an authorization requirement. Confirmed. So there we go. So now that works. So it's going to say requirement is a read permission. Now, what I'm wondering about on this, yeah, Michael Jolly. I think it was the green screens conversation that we were having on Twitter. Good stuff. Is owner is okay. So for read permission, if you're the owner, we're not going to say is sponsor. We're going to say is editor. Is owner, is editor, user, context, resource. So that should be what they're trying to access, and we'll have to check that. So this is the hilarity. Code omitted for brevity, but you passed me an object? Thanks. So I have to look up what to do with that. Snickering. Can you explain this in JavaScript? I can explain a little bit about this in JavaScript, but it's a very complicated topic and would take a while. It depends on what you mean by in JavaScript even, because it varies based on different things. So for example, this while you're inside of a class is not the same thing as this while you're inside of a function. There's a lot of variance. Yeah, no problem, Snickering. You can probably find whole videos just on that topic. I don't have one handy, but yeah, it's a big thing to figure out. And Findor's suggestion of just using TypeScript. Some people like TypeScript, and you get a different result for it. But yeah, so. No good answer, but welcome all the same, and thanks for chiming in with the question. You want a book on async await table of contents, the C# and Dev, but I haven't read it. Yeah, Fuel Stable. I'm not sure. You could probably tweet at John Skeet and ask him how in depthly he goes into async and await in that book. I bet he would respond. If you think this is weird, check. Yes, thank you, the Michael Jolly. Claims type badge ID, so this where do you do this? Context. User has claimed temporary badge ID. No. No, we're not doing that. Goodbye. Alright, edit permission. So let's go to where our read permission is. We're going to make the edit permission and the delete permission for now as like additional permission thingies. So edit permission and delete permission. Alright, so those should be nice now. Good. Let's put these each in their own file, because why not? Move to that. And move to that. Excuse me. Alright. There we go. Context 16 requirements is owner. Yeah, so the owner would be able to do that. We might allow the editor to edit, but we'll figure that out in a moment. Alright, so we want to check. So right now we're just saying true. Let's toss in a couple of breakpoints. How do we set it up to use these requirements? How do we tell it that we want this handler to get used? So first off, we need to set it up as an actual handler inside a startup. That's not our handler. Ours is channel permissions handler. Like that. Ah! I did not mean to do that. Alright, so we set that up. Okay, so on our page, on get, whoops, not that one. We don't want it on get, we want it on edit? Maybe let's do it on edit. Edit in my channels. We're going to put in an authorized policy, and the policy is not going to be that. Authorize, okay, so by default it's just going to be the policy, which I guess is going to be can edit channel will be the policy, we'll say. Oh, what happened? Please QQ more. Welcome. Thanks for that follow. Oh, the Michael Jolly posted a link. Yep. Currently, C# in Dev 4 has 2 chapters about async, writing async code and async implementation. That'll teach me to send a link to this. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, our bot does block links. And Snickering and Arbark TV. Thanks both for those follows. Glad you're enjoying the stream, Snickering. A friend of mine in a critical project observed threads, tasks, async await, and sleep all mingled up and kind of working. Kind of working isn't good enough for critical systems, though. Yeah. And then inside of... Where is it? Where'd you go? Right up here. Okay. What a lovely day. It's a very fun reaction. What a lovely day. So we're gonna say can edit that, and the requirements for can edit the channel. Requirements for can edit channel. Is what? Edit permission? Obviously, there's no value on that. I think that's the way we set it up. Uh, De DevOpG, why you don't use simple forms auth? We're using forms authentication. You're wondering about checking a has role. This is a so we are setting up authorization, not authentication, which is a separate thing. We are using forms auth. The reason we're setting up these policies here is that we're trying to set it up how you can edit a channel. So the idea here is you can edit a channel if you own it, and we're going to add in the ability for other people potentially to be able to edit it as well, but we want you to only be able to edit your channels and not be able to edit other people's channels. So that's the restriction we're putting in here, and we're setting it up as an authorization because people should see how to set these up as authorizations, because in the long run, this is a better way of dealing with those kinds of permission sets, because you can put them in as a policy like this. Though I kind of want that to not be a magic string anymore, but we'll figure that one out later. Let's try this. I want to see what's going to happen. Is this even going to run? I don't know. Do I have breakpoints in here? I do now. Is this site still running over here? Yes, it is. Cancel that. There we go. I'm going to catch up on the chat. Snickering, you hate Pluralsight at times. Snickering, I am one of the Pluralsight authors. I hope you don't think my explanations are bad. But if you do, I'd love it if you let me know which courses of mine you think have bad explanations. Maybe I can improve them. Kind of working is the scary kind of working. Agreed, Coding Karma. Do you know if he talks about in-depth on synchronization configure? Nope. It's like a friend when he showed me his app and he got an A because it worked. Spent 2 seconds just hitting buttons and crashed it. Exactly, Coding Karma. That actually reminds me of a fun story that I might tell you all about. I volunteer to add Telegram support for notifications when you reach an MVP if you want. Miha, yeah, feel free to send us a pull request at pretty much any point, really. We are working towards our MVP here, but feel free to send us something before that point if you like, or help us get to MVP either way. You have special skills in finding stuff that crashes everything. That is a useful skill, Coding Karma. You should be a QA. Well, much appreciated, Snickering. But yes, the thing that I was going to tell you all a story about, because someone mentioned this in chat, so welcome to Story Time with Brendan. We're going to talk about a project. No company names, no people's names, anything like this. I've worked in a lot of consultings and consulting and other various services organizations, so I've seen a lot of code at a lot of companies. My team and I got pulled in to work on a project. The project was nearing its completion, and we were taking over for the project from the previous team. And they were close to being, as we said, they were close to being done. They had declared that it was pretty much done and just needed some final pieces in place. And we started working with the project. And we would get it running. We would get the application running on our local machines. We'd run it for a while. And we started to notice that after about 5 minutes of using the website, this web application, it would start to slow down. And we got really confused by this. And we were like, well, that's weird. And so we started digging in and we looked at it. And I should mention, well, no, I won't mention. The application, well, let's put it this way. What we ended up finding was that it ended up creating events and events and events, and its events triggered more events, and it started subscribing to more and more events, until eventually the application, every time you clicked, was exponentially growing the amount of work it did, because nothing ever unsubscribed. And this was inherent in like every part of the application, so it wasn't like centralized that this problem existed. This was the entire application was written this way, with everything done by events, and every event just being subscribed to and not unsubscribed, and event triggers causing more event triggers until it was exponentially growing. Essentially, the idea is that if you use this application for more than just test out my scenario, or show someone a demo of it, the whole application crashed. Not only that, so that was the huge thing that we found that was like awful, where it's like, it looks great. Like, it was shiny and nice. The application looked, if you looked at it for 30 seconds, it was like, wow, this is amazing. But you look at it for any longer than that, and it was awful. Next wonderful thing, client-side application, and it did the authentication on the client side. It was loading people's hashed passwords into the client machine so that they could do that. Needless to say, we talked with the client, and that project didn't finish. We suggested they not finish it because we talked with them about what it would cost to fix it. But yeah, it was pretty awesome. Junior MX, which programming language do I recommend to learn? If you are interested in learning to code, I would suggest two things. First off, I will always make the recommendation of C# because we like C# here on the channel. But before you just go ahead and choose the one that we suggest, I would recommend that you figure out what type of programming you want to do and find which languages are suited for that. So, for example, if you just generally want to program and build applications, like just regular application development, I would recommend learning a language like C#, as it is a general purpose language that can be used for all kinds of things. If you are someone that is interested in programming games, for example, the languages I would recommend are usually C# and C++. So if you want to do game dev, I'd recommend those because a lot of shops do their game development in C++. But then there's also a lot that do Unity these days, especially the smaller shops. So do check those out. If you specifically want to do mobile development, you can see if you like the way that Xamarin works. If you don't, then look into something else. If you want to do web development, you could do JavaScript, for example. But again, with web development, you could learn JavaScript and C#. So it really comes down to what do you want to do? What do you want to build? What kinds of applications? And people can definitely make recommendations for you on that one. It's up to you, really. What about for web dev? PHP or Python for the backend? So I recommend C# for the backend. Use ASP.NET Core if you want to do backend. So Have No Clue there is recommending C because you can easily switch to other language. But that is a very low-level language. So some people do well with starting with the really difficult language to learn first. Some people do well with the higher-level language to start and then learning lower levels from that. It really comes down to what you're interested in. And also, I do want to mention before I forget, please don't ban Kit. Thank you for that follow, much appreciated. Yeah, so you can absolutely learn Python. I actually used to be a Python developer. I used Python before I used C#. It's a very good language. PHP is also a very popular language. You can do a lot of stuff with it. It gets a lot of hate from the online community, so despite the fact that a lot of people use it, it seems arbitrarily large. If you look at stats of like what languages are used as backend, PHP seems really, really high, only because it runs WordPress sites. And so because of that, every WordPress CMS that's out there, whether the person building it actually uses PHP or not, skews its numbers really high. That's not to say that PHP isn't a very good language. People have been building stuff for a long time, so clearly it's good. We don't like language bashing here because there's a lot of things you can use. Node.js for a backend if you want to just learn JavaScript, as mentioned by Coding Karma there. Some people here like Kotlin. There's so many choices. It is a huge question. Hence why I say our channel recommendation here is C# and ASP.NET Core, but there are obviously a lot of other choices. So really find what you're interested in doing and pick the one that you like. Who is comfortable with learning C as a beginner? Well, to be honest, Plutonin, C++ was one of the first programming languages I learned. And yes, every nail has its hammer. Well said. C hash, yes, C hashtag. We like the C hashtag here. Actually, that's not a hashtag. That's a little tic-tac-toe game. It's C tic-tac-toe. How do you spell tic-tac-toe? I don't know. Is it like this? Is it like that? I don't know. I don't know how tic-tac-toe is actually supposed to be written. Something like that. Katrina learned C++ first and then slept on a computer lab floor a lot. C hash. Yes, Miha, yes, it is actually the musical symbol, the sharp symbol, which is actually just a joke, because it's supposed to be like C at a higher level, so C sharp, you know, a level, you know, slightly higher level C. You gotta love programmer jokes. We make the best jokes. Let's see, so the edit page is where I'm supposed to trigger a breakpoint. Did I, is the question. Aha! Alright, I got here, but I did not hit that value. I did not get that, so okay. So we did not hit our authorize attribute when going to edit this page. Okay, that's fine. How do I use the custom handler then, Mr. Website? It's C+++++. Yeah, sort of, Miha. That's a good explanation. One thing I gotta say is learn to debug when starting off. Yes, Snickering. Everyone needs to learn how the debugger works. That is one of the first things, especially if you're gonna do, well, really, almost any kind of development. You want to learn how to use the debugger. Use handler for multiple requirements. Permission. Yes, this is the one I'm doing. We're doing that, and then we have those permissions. Handler registration. Yes. So that's the minimum age handler, which we're not really using. Yeah. So we add it then. How do I use my handler? Alright, interwebs. I am going to ask you this question more directly, because the official doc does not help me on that. Okay, Andrew, do you have a quick answer for me on how I register this thing? Alright, can access VIP areas. Okay, that's funny they did airport also, because everybody did airport. Authorize, can access VIP area, so that's can access VIP area. Policy, add requirement, it's that kind of requirement. And then, how did you create your handler? Oh, so you did them all as these? Hang on one second. So if I create it as a handler of that type, will it let me do it? At which point, this is not what I want this to do. I want, so first off, handle requirement async, we'll try that. So we'll just check is owner, and then we will return task complete after having modified that value. So now we don't need this anymore, because this one is working as an authorized handler of that type. And maybe we'll do an is editor. We'll have to check that. Let's debug, and I'm going to check out the chat, because I'm sure stuff has happened. Learn to debug, not necessarily the same as using a debugger. Oh, yeah, fuel sample. That is actually a very good point. That is a very good point. And Snickering, music, you can find down below. There's information about the music. It is Relax Daily. It's what we're listening to, and you can find all that down there. And helpful official, who would have thought? Yeah, so Obabo, the new docs from Microsoft are much better than the old ones. I will just come out right and say that. They have definitely improved them. Okay. You're telling me that that didn't get hit? Nope. All right. Didn't I set this up to have a authorize can edit channel? Can edit channel. So this person used an action result on a view on a controller, which is not exactly what we're doing. What is this? What is this? Require authenticated builder? Oh, this would be a global one. Okay. We don't want that, actually. We don't want that at all. Okay. Made the jump from Python to C# 3 months ago. I found the jump pretty hard, also because of the documentation of Microsoft. Yeah, the jump from Python to C# can be a little difficult. It's a big one, especially if you don't already know a C-based language, like a C++ or something like that. Oh, that's funny. Plutonin, that's pretty good. Well, that explains it then. How to use a handler for multiple requirements. Creating an authorization policy dynamically. Is this the same article I was just in? Yes, of course it is. This might be what we're looking for. Let's see. That may be too complicated. Oh, man, I might actually have to just go dig into this at some point and figure out why the heck this isn't working. Let's see. Correct user requirement. Actually, this might be what we're looking for. This might be doing exactly what we're doing. So why isn't ours running? Authorize, data events records admin, or correct user. Correct user requirements. Is there a correct user requirement what I think it is? Handler auth fills that. HTTP path data. Any parse. Yeah. Yeah. I do believe it is. I think this is almost exactly what we're looking for. So, let me go ahead and send this to myself over in our Discord real fast. I think this might be an example of what I was trying to do. Pasted. Alright, cool. Oh, man. That was something else. Let's just say. I will take a look at that in the next one. So what's going on? Oh, snickering. Have a good one. Take care. Enjoy your night. All right. So, a couple of things. First off, if you are new here, welcome. My name is Brendan. This channel here is DevChatter. We stream 4 times a week on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. You can find all the source code for the projects we work on out on GitHub at github.com/devchatter. If you are interested in chatting with us more outside of the stream, I highly recommend you join our Discord. Link over there. I'm sure some people have joined because I've commented about it a couple of times today on the stream. Discord link is over there in the chat as well as down below. Discord is a chat application that you can use to chat with me and the other DevChatter viewers. Really about pretty much anything, but mostly the conversations revolve around tech, programming, software development, those kinds of things. And there's a lot of channels about all kinds of things, different programming language, technology stacks. We have channels about, just ranting about stuff that's going on. So if you want to join any of those, we've got stuff about learning programming, channels for improving as streamers. So anyone out there who is an aspiring programming streamer, go check that out as well. If you are someone watching this on a video, say on YouTube, or maybe you're watching here on the Twitch videos section, either way, hello future person, I hope things are great. Thank you for watching. For anyone that doesn't know, we do actually have a YouTube channel that has our full archive, including playlists of all the different videos that we've done here on the stream, so you can find tons of DevChatter if you are so inclined. I would also recommend people follow me on Twitter for notifications when we go live, but really the best way to get those is to follow the channel here on Twitch. If you want to make sure that you actually get the information about whether, like if a stream's not going to happen or something like that, I usually let people know on Discord, because their Discord viewers are the ones that are the most connected in, so that's usually where I post that kind of information. Everyone else just won't get a notification about it if I had to cancel a stream, say last minute or something like that. Other stuff that I want to mention, we will be streaming next on Thursday. On Thursday we stream usually early, so as long as I don't end up with some kind of a scheduling things that comes up that pushes me back, my streams usually start at noon Eastern time on Thursdays. So if you are, say, not in Eastern United States time, then all you have to do is convert from UTC. So that's what, 17? So 1700 is when we start on Thursdays, UTC. And if you don't want to figure that out, you can look in the panels down below, and we do have our schedule down there. Or you could ask our bot and say schedule and pass in a state, country, a city, some kind of reference to where you are, and it will come back with a time that is in your time zone, so that you can actually see when the stream's going to happen. So, for example, in England, our Thursday stream is at 5 p.m. And you can put in whatever one you want. Other things, I want to thank everybody for hanging out today. We will be, as I said, our next stream will be on Thursday. I'm going to check and see if there's anyone for us to host or raid or something along those lines. So if there is anyone that I follow who is live, we'll be raiding them. There is not one. Let me take a look at the live coders and see if there's anyone over there. There is.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more.
And the Michael Jolly. Thank you very much for gifting 5 subs to Miha, Ancient Coder, Boko Guy, Rambling Geek, and Achoy.
Don't hurt me no more.
Man, that is a nice sub hype right there.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me.
And if you are someone that just received a gifted sub from the Michael Jolly, first off, Michael Jolly's awesome. He actually also streams, so I will toss a shout out there. And yes, I was planning on rating Robert Tables. I noticed he was in the list. And oh, there was one more. Sorry. Last thing, I want to make sure that I click my credits button before we jump over there. So, I want to make sure that I thank everybody for hanging out today. We're going to be raiding, so please stick around and say hi to Robert when we get there. I want to thank Katrina Stuhlpenner, and I know that we had Crimson Green here for a while as well, so thanks for helping out moderating. Thank you everybody here who followed us today. Much appreciated. And we had a bunch of subscribers. Brandonius sounds like an awesome guy. Thank you for subscribing. Paramedic, Prototype, Coding Karma, Miha, Ancient Coder, Boko Guy, Rambling Geek, and a Choi, and obviously the Michael Jolly for gifting 5 of those subs. It was an awesome stream today. I had a lot of fun. We should keep this discussion going, and I will probably be over in the Discord for a little bit before I have to leave, but I look forward to seeing you all on Thursday. Take care. Please say hi to Robert when we get there, and happy coding. Bye, everyone.